Hi, I'm TJ Tollakson, retired professional Ironman triathlete, CEO of Diamond Bikes, and today we got a special for you. Retired pro triathlete reacts. So, if you don't know what a reacts video is, we're gonna go over some fails, and I'm gonna tell you what they did wrong. I've never seen these clips before. First time. We're gonna get my hot take on a hot mic right now. Here we go. Oof, that's a rough one. Yeah, so what you gotta do is jump off the bike.
Problem solved.
I'm gonna go ahead and hit this back 10 seconds just so I can watch that one more time because I wasn't exactly sure. But wow, we hit the pavement hard. Ooh. Oh, man. Coming in hot. So, biggest fail on that first one there. Came in a little too hot. I don't mind the foot in front, foot behind. I actually am a fan of the foot behind. Greg Welch will tell you about the foot in front deal with losing some toes in the spokes. Those bladed spokes are like knives as they go around fast. So you got to be a little careful when you're doing that. If you're going to do a flying dismount, make sure you're going slow enough you can actually hit the ground running. I think this guy probably could have just practiced on the treadmill at home, like what it's like to run and like hold your hands up, hit the ground running so your feet catch up to speed. That would have saved a lot, but yeah, you want to make sure you practice that at home. Whoa, whoa, whoa. The flying mount. The flying mount is always a little bit challenging. When you check out the flying mount, there's a couple things that are really important. One is you want to make sure that your pedals are level and that the pedal that you're jumping on, the side of the bike you're jumping on, or sorry, it should be your non-drive side bike, you should be jumping on that side. That pedal should be back, the drive side pedal should be forward. So as you throw your leg over the back of the bike, so you should lean the bike slightly towards you, throw your leg over the back of that, and if your pedals are there with your shoes on it, then it's a lot easier to start pedaling. Flying dismount, this looks like a pretty good size race we're watching here. Obviously a disaster as he dismounted his bike, he steps on the shoe, boom, instant blooper reel. ITU stuff right now. I want to go slow so I can catch this. Oh. Okay, that's just spacing right there. These athletes are too tight, and as she takes her foot off the bike, she runs right into Andrea Hewitt. You can see Hewitt's actually a little bothered by it, just goes ahead and moves over, gives her the extra space, but yeah, you know, most age groupers aren't coming into packs that tight, but yeah, hopefully you're not ever crashing into somebody as you're jumping off your bike.
And here we go, Knoll fans. Let's hear you. Let's hear your shouts out. Noel Mulkey making his way into transition off of the bike. He has completed the bike portion. Went to the wrong bike rack.
All right, so we're going to analyze Noel's transition here. So obviously he came in, forgot where he was going, was pretty slow in that process. So you should make an effort to know exactly where your transition, your rack is, so you can avoid that in the first place.
Out onto the marathon course.
There we go. He's, you know, he had that one little miss.
So that's the other thing. It looks like he's got his phone on his bike there. I don't know if that's actually a phone or that's just like the world's biggest cycling computer. Probably not the preferred cycling computer for anybody is their phone, but I guess if you're using it, go for it.
Perhaps making sure he stops his computer once.
All right, stopped his computer way late anyway. He should have stopped that when he stopped pedaling the bike. But then sitting down, sitting down on the ground. I mean, I know this is an Ironman, but come on, man.
His computer wants to make sure that split is correct. He went on the other side of that rack, but he goes underneath, sits down. That's a technique we see pretty frequently, is the athletes sitting down, because, as you pointed out earlier, Didi, because of COVID, we don't have...
Sitting down on the ground, though, would still be the slowest way to do this. No change tent. I would still try to stand up. A lot faster that way.
But 5:02:31 bike split for Noel Mulkey. Very, very respectable. Well done. Choosing to change the socks. Had the bike socks, maybe they're a little wet. Not necessarily a bad strategy.
No. Wait, did I miss that there? Did he actually put new socks on? I mean, yeah, okay, so he put new socks on, which is a little bit crazy too. I get the dry sock thing. But if you're gonna take off long socks that you're running on the bike, you should probably put long socks on for the run too. The compression is going to be more of a benefit at this point in the race, but at least he has socks on.
To do so, and again, a good strategy. He's loading up there on the nutrition, taking a little something there. Don't know what that is, but fueling up, getting ready to head out. I would say that a better option might have been to take whatever jar he just put back in his bag and stick it in your pocket, take it with you.
I'm with Didi on this one. He should have taken whatever that little pill popping thing was. I don't know what he's popping. Say it's probably salt or something good. Hopefully nothing illicit, but whatever his little pill thing should be, he should probably stick that in the front of his jersey right here in his fuel belt, so he has that to take with him.
Getting his legs under him, making his way through transition to his adoring fans. Lots of support.
Would you run holding a Red Bull too?
I would. I've done that, holding the Red Bull thing. It's not the easiest thing to do, running hold a Red Bull. I like to try to flatten my Red Bull as much as possible, so I will actually put it in a water bottle the night before, so I'll have it opened, refrigerated. It's way easier to run with a sport bottle than a can, so I think that makes transition a little bit easier, a little bit faster. Overall, I mean, I give him a grade of a C+ on that. I mean, I'd say he's like slightly above average for his transition. Still a lot to learn, but you know, for a guy who's Kona qualifying, like, yeah, it's not too bad.
All right, Sam, it wasn't the day you wanted. Did you feel like you had a fighting chance going into the day?
I felt like I had a chance. I mean, the run admittedly was a big question mark. My longest run since St. George was 5 miles, and I got out there and I ran about a mile with my legs feeling okay, and then it felt like I was running on stilts, so my legs just had no sort of spring in them and no ability to absorb the shock, so every step was just straight up the legs.
So there, I'm just going to say it, even attempting that race, I'm going to say Sam Long probably took 2 years off of his career as a pro triathlete. Like, that wasn't smart. You saw what his legs went through there. That is not a small man you're talking about there. He is called the big unit for a reason. He is one giant man, and I will tell you that means he has a lot more muscle mass than a smaller athlete, and that is a lot of power he's putting out. He's running very fast, and well, it was foolish to even attempt that. I'm sure there were a lot of people telling him that, but that's part of being young, is making stupid mistakes. And so we've seen him do that a few times, and he'll probably continue to make mistakes like that. It's hard to make a living when you enter races suboptimally. Oh, hot corners, oh, right over the barrier. That's a tough one right there. Yeah, just go ahead and slow down a little bit before you take that. Ooh, slide out wet corners. Okay, so again, this is just like riding a motorcycle more than a car here, but you want to make sure that you brake before the corner so you can kind of accelerate out of the corner. The last thing you want to be doing on a fast corner is to be slamming on your brakes the whole way. That's when you have the chance of locking things up. The outside knee needs to be as straight as possible, pedal all the way down at the 6 o'clock position, the inside knee pointing forward, and you need to push to the outside of your bike. So if I'm going to make a right corner, I want to push this just like this on my handlebars so I can get out. And basic cornering 101, and obviously when it's slick, you got to really make sure you're gentle on especially that rear brake. If there's ever a time you want to be front brake heavy, it's on that wet corner so you don't skid out. Oof. I can give some of these people a little advice when they are falling down. You have to know how to fall. And this is not a good falling position. This is not a good falling position. Tuck and roll, baby, tuck and roll. Get those arms in here. Save yourself from breaking your collarbone. Tuck your arms in, roll. Roll as quickly as you can.
Speaking from experience there? Or?
Speaking from experience, I've got a broken collarbone. I didn't sit my arm out like this. I actually landed flat on my back. The collarbone popped forward.
Ouch.
But I will just tell anybody who's falling, learning how to fall is actually a big skill. And if you can practice it on some wet grass on a cyclocross bike, you'll be in a really good position because you fall a lot in cyclocross, at least I did when I started. Oof, hay bales. Actually, that wasn't a bad fall, but man, that was a launch over the top. First guy's usually hurt the least. It's the second, that guy. Yep, that guy just broke his collarbone. Yep. I had a fall just like that. Always good in the rain. Oh, slid out. Same problem. That's a bad corner. It's a bad corner. Bad cornering technique.
In Coeur d'Alene, I prepared very well, and I had a nutrition strategy that I practiced every single week for every single block. And then I got into the race. I swam really well. I was like very easy on the bike. I hit my nutrition strategy, like I'm talking 100% bang on as practiced. And
pardon the interruption. Rooster Sports, Diamond Bikes, is TJ.
Extended warranty or?
No, another solicitation, but may as well have been. All right, so Lionel's Coeur d'Alene race report. We'll get into this. Form and fuel. Well, form with Lionel. But it is a form nonetheless, and if it's efficient and it works for him, we keep going there. Fueling seems to be a huge problem for Lionel Richie Sanders, Colonel.
Why, hello there. It's me, the Colonel.
But he sometimes nails it, sometimes gets it really wrong. So I'm not exactly sure where he is in any one of these races, but this was obviously a poor race.
It wasn't correct. I think with hindsight looking at it, I probably had to concentrate. I certainly, not even probably, I put too much in. I actually probably overcompensated for my losses and consumed too much, and put the concentration in my stomach too high, and did like kind of the opposite of dehydrating yourself. I almost overhydrated myself, stomach shut down, very controlled, on the run, the first phases of the run. I just say to myself,
he got a little hitch in his giddy up there, doesn't he? Yeah, so this race probably had a lot of nutrition problems throughout it, but this is something, a guy who's raced as many Ironmans and as fast as Lionel, it should be a little more dialed at this point. And again, he should be practicing this nutrition in his training, so it shouldn't be that big of a surprise, right? So by this point, the nutrition mistakes should be somewhat minor. I mean, was it hot and humid? Yeah, probably. But again, man, that should have been better prepared. And what makes that worse is when he's that cocky and he's talking this big game before the race, and then it ends up like this. That's a giant slice of humble pie. I mean, that's the whole humble pie, I guess.
you'll catch them. Don't matter when, just nice and easy, listen to your body.
Jeez, man, that's hard to watch.
And then, boom, switch off. Right around, I would say, 5.5 to 6 hours. Body don't function no more.
Apparently his grammar does not function no more either.
Fortunately, I can work on a bit better nutrition strategy. I think it will be not doing as high of a concentration, not pushing the limits of sodium.
Oh, come on, Lionel, not pushing the limits? No limits, we don't have limits. Oh, I guess we do have limits. I guess we should come back down to earth and have some limits on what we put in our body.
Straight potassium intake and giving my body a bit better chance of absorbing the stuff that I am taking. So that's what that'll look like, and I'm gonna practice that.
Yes, thank you for that final piece of sage advice. Practice that, Lionel. That's the best thing. It's the best thing you can say to anybody. Whatever your nutrition is coming in, practice that. If you practice it on all your big training days, every training session, you're practicing your race nutrition, you will execute. That's some great React stuff right there. I hope you enjoyed that. You want to see more of this? Let me know, and we'll get you some more reactions off the hot mic, hot takes right now.